Hello everybody, it's Ginger and welcome back to another video. Today we are continuing our Shiganshina in a 3-to-1 scale in Minecraft, which I was super excited for. So most of this video is actually copy paste, but then I realized, oh, like having a 30-minute video for the first one probably isn't that smart of an idea. It was very long. I didn't expect it to be so long, and then I uploaded it and I was like, oh, that's really long, but I don't want to take it down and redo it. Um, well, I can't, but I could like re-edit the video, but I feel like it's super important to get that gate in, and show how much work was put into that. It was like a video that was an hour and a half, so originally. So I'm really glad that I was able to cut it down to an hour. So what you see me doing here is I have this gradual curve that is in the photo that I am referencing of the wall, and there's about 14 sections of the wall. I ended up doing 13 because I felt like it just looked a little bit better. But that's also not including the first wall that I had originally on each side of the gate. So what I'm doing here is, since the length of each of the original wall sections is 65, what I do is I started splitting that in half. So you can see these little purple numbers way to the right when I'm selecting the first and second position. With my wand for world edit, you can see me, those numbers pop up, and that's what I'm referencing, and I do end up writing some of that down in the chat. But what I ended up doing is I split that section of 65 down into halves. So I have 33 and 32. Now what I ended up doing is splitting those halves further down. But then I'd have let's say a 17 and a 16, and then I'd continue to have a 30, the other remaining, so a 17, 16, and then a 32, and then what's the math on this? Like 10 and 7, and then 16, and then 32, and then I kind of did it really gradually. And you can see me typing it back and forth in the chat and kind of going back and forth a lot because I just wanted to make sure that I was doing my math right. I did have a calculator on hand, but still it was really stressful. And you can see in that photo that I very briefly showed that I'm counting the sections of the wall, and you can see that the wall is very, very gradual. And so I'm just hoping for the best with this, honestly. This is my second attempt at Shiganshina, but first attempt I didn't record and it crashed my crashed Minecraft, so I was just hoping for the best. And I had to realize that I had to do a lot of little copies and pastings. Copy and paste is pastes in this one, so that's why this video is also significantly shorter. It's like 7 minutes, but I'm also going to aim to do this for more than, to do shorter videos because I feel like that'd be really helpful. And here you can actually see the curve that I've already done. I do have footage of like doing this curve and like doing it 3 times. I didn't want to show that because I just wanted the final product to be shown. I was really struggling with it, and I'm familiar with curves like I do for sterns and bows and hulls, but it was actually really difficult to do a curve this wide for me. So I just ended up kind of wigging it and I think it turned out pretty well. So you can actually see the curve from up top there. I think it looks pretty well. It's really good. It's a really gradual curve. And then what I ended up doing is taking these gold sections and then stacking them 34 blocks, because these gold walls are 35 blocks wide. So you already have 1 block, and then you gotta stack it. And then the diamond sections I did for 40 blocks because total, because it overhangs. And those are the structural supports of the wall. So what I ended up doing here is I split up these overhanging parts into a section of 6 and 5. I think it looked a lot better because it created this more gradual look. And for this side part here, this is after the curve, where the wall straightens out again. I had to do that part by hand, which was kind of terrible, but it did end up working out pretty well. So you can see me here actually just replacing the diamond with the stone, cobblestone, and the stone bricks, which I already did for all the gold sections. So I actually just ended up flying and going through all of it because I had to do the gold sections in pieces because I didn't want to crash. And then you can see me using my speed here, which is actually really helpful. And then I ended up doing is I have these overhanging parts on the top of the wall as well. I had to copy and paste some of those because they didn't paste right or I didn't stack them right. It doesn't really matter, but I ended up pasting those. And you can see me actually having to fix this overhanging part here because it was actually adjusted. So I did it right on the back, but then I pasted wrong on the front. So I was really just hoping for the best. And that is kind of it. One of the big things was just copy and pasting to the other side, and I didn't show footage of that mostly because I was afraid that I would crash while OBS was running. So what I did is I just copy and pasted in like these tiny little sections, which was it was an experience. I had to keep going running and back and forth. It was terrible, but I ended up getting it done. No crashing. Um, and when I did the final pace, I had like 5 million blocks instead of like one. So I had Skyfall by Adele playing, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I was just holding my hands in prayer. I was like, please don't crash my single player world. And it didn't. So I'm really happy with that. You can just see me doing some finishing touches here. I was just some of the top parts flattened out, so I just had to copy paste that since all of it was the same dimensions. And that's it. I will see you guys in the next video.